Hello students, welcome back. So today here we are going to start a new chapter, that is group 17 elements. So what are group 17 elements? The elements fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, all these present in group 17 of the periodic table are known as group 17 elements. They have 7 electrons in their valency shell. These are also earlier known as 7A elements. Earlier, these are known as 7A elements. So they contain 7 electrons in their valency shell, 7th elements. According to IUPAC system, these are present in group 17. Okay, so these are also known as halogens. These are also known as halogens. Halogens means salt forming. Salt forming. So these are the main constituents of salt. So maximum salt contains any one of these elements. In these are known as halogens. Among them, astatine is radioactive element. Okay. Now come to occurency. So fluorine is generally found. All these elements generally found in combined state. They do not found in free state. Okay, all these generally found in combined state. Fluorine is present in the form of fluorspar, cryolite, fluoraptite, etc. Fluorspar, it is present in the form of CaF2, this is fluorspar, cryolite, Na3Al, cryolite, and fluoraptite, CaF2 dot Ca3PO4 whole twice. So this is known as your fluoraptite. So fluorine is present in combined form, mainly in fluorspar, cryolite, and fluoraptite. Similarly, chlorine is also found in different form, in different salts, that is in the form of sodium chloride, kernelite. This is also found in potassium chloride. So in different salts, this chlorine is found. Next, bromine is also found in different salts like sodium bromide, bromocernalite, okay, it is also found in potassium bromide. Bromine is also found in different forms, and iodine generally found in COS. Generally it is found in COS. So, and all these salts are also found in seawater, and very little also found in earth crust. Okay, and this one is the radioactive element. Next come to their electronic configuration. All these elements contain 7 electrons in their valency shell. They have general electronic configuration NH2 NP5. So the general electronic configuration of these elements is NH2 NP5. Atomic number fluorine, that is 9, 17, 35, 53, and this one 85. Okay, so these are the atomic numbers, and generally they contain, generally they have electronic configuration NH2 NP5, like and here. And here. So these are the electronic configurations of these elements. Next come to general properties of these elements. General trends in properties. General trends in properties. General trends in properties of group 17 elements. Okay, so first come to atomic radii. So these elements have smaller size. So a halogen have the smallest size in the respective period. A halogen have smallest size in the respective period. So due to increase in nuclear charge. But however, as we move from top to bottom, then its atomic size increases or atomic radii increases. So fluorine has smaller size than that of oxygen. Similarly, chlorine has smaller size than that of sulfur. So these group elements have smaller size than that of group 16 elements, and they have also smaller size than that of group 18 elements. So a halogen has smallest size in the respective period. Okay. Next come to another property, that is ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy. So the amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom is known as ionization enthalpy. So the ionization enthalpy of these elements are comparatively high because the ionization enthalpy depends on two factors generally, that is your nuclear charge and size of atom. As the size of atom decreases and nuclear charge increases, size of atom decreases and nuclear charge increases. In this way, they have high value of ionization enthalpy. However, as we move down the group, the ionization enthalpy decreases. So, ionization enthalpy, fluorine, chlorine, this decreases, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, and atomic radii, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. In this way they vary. Next come to another property, that is electron gain enthalpy. Electron gain enthalpy. So the halogens have the highest value of electron gain enthalpy in the respective period. So they have generally highest value of electron gain enthalpy. Okay, so as the electronic configuration is NS2, NP5, in this way one electron they can easily accommodate and release some amount of energy. In this way, the halogens have highest value of highest negative value of electron gain enthalpy. So they have highest negative value of electron gain enthalpy in the respective period. Okay. However, as we move down the group, the negative value of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity decreases. So in this way, between fluorine, bromine, iodine, it should have the highest value of electron gain enthalpy. But actually, chlorine has highest value of electron gain enthalpy. So the electron gain enthalpy vary. So chlorine has highest, then fluorine, then bromine, then iodine. So the electron gain enthalpy, it decreases down the group. However, chlorine has highest value of electron gain enthalpy than that of fluorine. So fluorine, it has very smaller size, and in the smaller size, very smaller compact size. In this way, when the electron comes, so the electronic repulsion takes place. So some energy is utilized to maintain the incoming electron. So to maintain the repulsion of this incoming electron. In this way, fluorine has less value of electron gain enthalpy than that of chlorine. So it has the highest value of electron gain enthalpy among the halogens and also among all elements in the periodic table. Okay. Next come to another property, that is electron negativity. So the halogens have the highest electron negativity in the respective period. Okay. And as they have smallest size and highest nuclear charge, in this way the halogens have a highest value of electronegativity in the respective period, and this electronegativity value generally decrease down the group. Okay, so the electronegativity value vary. Fluorine has highest, then chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. In this way, the electronegativity value vary. Next come to another property, that is color. Color. So these molecules, the electrons of these molecules absorb energy from visible region and excited to higher energy state. And at that time, what color it absorbs, it gives the complementary color. In this way, all the halogens are generally colored. So, fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine all exist as diatomic gas. They do not all exist as diatomic. They do not exist in single atomic form. So fluorine is pale yellow or light yellow gas. This is pale yellow gas. Chlorine is greenish yellow gas. This is greenish yellow gas. Bromine is orange red liquid. This is orange red liquid. Bromine exists in liquid form. Chlorine exists in gaseous form. And iodine is a dark purple solid. This is a purple solid. Okay, in this way, these halogens are colored in nature, and these two are gases, and this is liquid, and this is solid. That is due to increase in the molecular size and increase in van der Waals force of attraction. So, due to increase in molecular size and increase in van der Waals force of attraction, the first two are gases, then bromine is a liquid while iodine is solid at room temperature. Okay, next come to another property, that is bond energy. Bond dissociation energy. Bond dissociation energy. So, the halogens form single bond with each other among the two atoms, that is fluorine, fluorine, or between chlorine, chlorine, bromine, bromine, and iodine, iodine, and the bond length at the atomic size increases from chlorine to iodine, the bond length also increases. So, they have single bond and the bond length also increases. In this way, the bond energy or the bond dissociation energy decreases down the group. However, fluorine, due to very small size and inter-electronic repulsion, the bond dissociation energy of fluorine is less than that of chlorine. Okay. So, due to this electronic repulsion, bond breaking takes place easily. In this way, the bond dissociation energy is chlorine has highest, then bromine, then fluorine, and then iodine. So, the bond dissociation energy generally decrease down the group, but fluorine, due to its inter-electronic repulsion, its bond dissociation energy is less. Okay, so this is some general trends in their physical properties. Next come to general trends in chemical properties. Another properties, so general trends in chemical properties. So first come to oxidation state. Oxidation state. So as they have electronic configuration NH2, NP5, and they can complete its octet by receiving one electron from other. So in this way, these elements generally exhibit oxidation state of -1. These elements generally exhibit oxidation state of -1. However, due to presence of vacant d orbitals from chlorine to iodine, due to presence of vacant d orbital from chlorine to iodine, the electrons from this P and S, they can extract their electron from P to S. In this way, they form different oxidation states. So among this, with this -1 oxidation state, they also form the oxidation state of +1, +3, +5, and +7. Fluorine is the only element, it always exhibits oxidation state of -1 because it has no vacant d orbital. It has no vacant d orbital. As it has no vacant d orbital, in this way it cannot excite its electron, and it is the most electronegative element. Fluorine is the most electronegative element, and it has no vacant d orbital. In this way, it cannot excite its electron to other, so it only exhibits the oxidation state of -1. While all other elements, along with this -1, they also exhibit the oxidation state of +1, +3, +6, +7. Chlorine, in some cases, along with this oxidation state, in some cases, it also exhibits the oxidation state of some cases +4 and +6. Chlorine has all the tendency, along with this, along with all these, along with all, it also exhibits the oxidation state of +4 and +6 in some compounds. Next come to nature of compounds. Nature of compounds. with halogens form ionic bond with more electropositive elements, that is alkali and alkaline earth metals like sodium, potassium, barium, strontium, calcium, etc. So these halogens form ionic compounds with more electropositive elements. Okay, and with non-metals and with less electropositive, that is comparable electronegative elements, they form covalent compounds. With less electropositive or comparable electronegative elements. With comparable electronegative elements or less electropositive elements, they form covalent compounds, and with more electropositive elements, generally they form ionic compounds. Maximum cases fluorine forms ionic compounds. Okay, so these are some general trends in properties. Next come to how they form hydrides. So what is the activity towards hydrogen? Okay, reactivity towards hydrogen. So all these elements generally form have strong affinity towards hydrogen. Generally they form covalent compounds with hydrogen. Okay, so the reactivity towards hydrogen among the halogen is fluorine greater than chlorine, greater than bromine, greater than iodine. Fluorine reacts violently with hydrogen to form HF. Okay, so H2 plus F2 give rise to 2HF. Similarly, chlorine reacts with hydrogen in presence of sunlight to form HCl. Bromine reacts with hydrogen on heating to form HBr, and iodine reacts with hydrogen to form 2HI, which is reversible in nature. So the reactivity of halogens towards hydrogen decreases down the group: fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Okay, so in this way they react with hydrogen and all form your covalent compounds. And what are the nature of these hydroacids? Okay, so nature of hydroacids. Nature. Hydroacids. So this is hydrofluoric acid, hydrobromic acid and hydroiodic acids. So all these hydroacids are polar in nature, and this polarity depends on the bond length as well as the electronegativity. In this way, the HF is the most polar, then HCl, then HBr, then HI. So all these are polar in nature, and the polarity decreases down the group. Polarity, that is HF, then HCl, then HBr, then HI. Okay, so all these are gases except HF. Fluorine due to its smallest size, and high electronegativity value, HF can form hydrogen bond. So molecular association takes place in this way. HF is a liquid while all other are gases. Okay, so HF is a liquid. HF is liquid while all other are gases at room temperature. Okay. Next, so among them, what is the boiling point order? So the boiling point depends on the van der Waals force of attraction between HCl, HBr and HI. From HCl to HBr, the molecular size increases. In this way, van der Waals force of attraction increases. So the boiling point increases from HCl to HI. Boiling point increases from HCl to HI. But HF, due to intermolecular hydrogen bonding, it has the highest boiling point. So the boiling point order is boiling point order is HCl less than HBr, then HI, then HF. So this is the boiling point order, or we can say the volatility order. Volatility order, just reverse of this. That is, HCl is more volatile than HBr, then HI, then HF. Just reverse of this boiling point. Next, the thermal stability. So their thermal stability decreases down the group. Thermal stability. That means if we apply heat, whether it dissociates or not. If it dissociates more, then this is less stable, and if dissociates less, then this is more stable. So as HI has the highest bond length, its dissociation energy is less, while HF, one is it has smaller size, another due to hydrogen bonding, so it has thermal stability more, or dissociation energy of H and F is less. So in this thermal stability, HF greater than HCl, greater than HBr, greater than HI. Okay, thermal stability order in this way. And so when it dissociates with this hydrogen and halogen in this way, so anything which gives hydrogen easily, that acts as a reducing agent. So the reducing character of this hydroacids just reverse of the thermal stability. So the reducing nature generally reverse of this. So HF, HCl, HBr and HI. So these are the strongest reducing agent. Okay, HI. Next, acidic property of these hydroacids, acidic nature. So the acidic nature is also same as that of their reducing character, or just reverse of this thermal stability. So the acidic nature is HF less than HCl, less than HBr, less than HI. So in this way, these are the nature of hydroacids of halogens. Another thing I want to say here, as the reducing nature of HF, HCl, HBr, HI is this order. But if we just omit this hydrogen, then all remain in what? In ionic form. So all forms of negative ion. So in terms of ionic form, we can write the reducing character, the reducing nature of different halide ion. Reducing nature of halide ion is F minus less than Cl minus, then Br minus, then I minus. And its oxidizing nature is just reverse of this reducing nature. So fluorine is the highest oxidizing nature in fluorine has the highest oxidizing nature, so that the reducing nature in this way increases. So just reverse, its oxidizing nature increases. So oxidizing nature of halogens, oxidizing nature of halogens follows the order. Fluorine is the most oxidizing agent, then chlorine, then bromine, then iodine. So this is the oxidizing nature of halogens. Okay. Now next come. So all these elements reacts with oxygen to form different compounds. So fluorine is the most electronegative element. So in this way, instead of forming oxides, fluorine forms fluorides. So fluorine combines with oxygen to form two fluorides, that is fluorine combines with oxygen to form O2F2 and OF2. Oxygen monofluoride and oxygen difluoride. As fluorine is more electronegative, in this it is kept in right hand side. Okay, so it cannot excite as due to absence of d orbital and due to more electronegativity value, so it forms fluorides. But all other halogen atoms, these are less electronegative than oxygen. In this way, all other halogens, they form oxide. Except fluorine, all other form oxides. So in this way, chlorine forms maximum number of oxides like Cl2O, Cl2O, Cl2O3 and Cl2O3 and Cl2O7. Cl2O7. So chlorine form maximum types of oxide. Bromine also form oxides like Br2O, Br2O, Br2O7. Iodine also form oxides of type I2O4, I2O5, I2O7. In this way, all halogens form oxides, while fluorine forms fluorides. Next, these oxides are generally acidic in nature. So when these oxides dissolve in water, they form different oxoacids. With increase in the number of oxygen atom, their acidic nature also increases. Okay, so these are some physical and chemical properties of halogen. Now, next come to preparation of chlorine. So chlorine is prepared by various methods. So it is prepared from hydrochloric acid by reacting with manganese dioxide. 4HCl plus MnO2 give rise to MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus chlorine. Okay, so in this way chlorine gas is produced. In laboratory, this chlorine gas is prepared from sodium chloride and concentrated sulfuric acid. Okay, so 2 sodium chloride plus concentrated sulfuric acid in presence of manganese dioxide, it gives NaHSO4 sodium hydrogen sulfate plus manganese sulfate plus water and chlorine. Okay, so in this way chlorine is prepared in laboratory is prepared from sodium chloride. So when sodium chloride treated with sulfuric acid and manganese dioxide, it forms chlorine. Okay, so it is also prepared from different oxidizing agents like potassium permanganate and potassium dichromate. That is, give potassium permanganate plus 16 HCl give rise to 2 KCl MnCl2 plus 8 H2O plus 5 Cl2. Similarly, it is prepared from potassium dichromate to form potassium chloride, chromium chloride, water plus chlorine. Okay, so in this way chlorine can be prepared by various methods. In industrial scale, this chlorine gas is prepared chlorine gas is prepared by Deccan's process or by Downs process. In Downs process, chlorine gas is prepared by the electrolysis of saturated solution of sodium chloride. By the electrolysis of saturated solution of sodium chloride. So sodium chloride in aqueous solution, it forms Na plus Cl minus, and water is there, it gives H plus and OH minus. Then at cathode, hydrogen plus electron give rise to H, and H plus H, that is H2. You know this in electrochemistry. Between sodium and hydrogen, it has lower discharge potential. In this way, it will move towards cathode and hydrogen gas will be produced. Similarly, at anode, between Cl minus and OH minus, it has lower discharge potential. So Cl minus electron Cl and chlorine atom give rise to chlorine gas. In this way, this process is known as Downs process. In Downs process, chlorine gas is prepared by the electrolysis of saturated solution of sodium chloride. And another method, that is Deccan's process. These are the industrial method of preparation. So in Deccan's process, chlorine gas is prepared from hydrochloric acid. Okay, so this is prepared by the Al oxidation of hydrochloric acid in presence of cupric chloride and heat. So HCl plus O2, 4HCl plus O2 in presence of cupric chloride, and on heating it forms 2H2O plus 2Cl2. So chlorine gas is produced. Okay. So next come to what are the properties of chlorine. So chlorine is a greenish yellow gas having pungent odor. So this is a greenish yellow gas having pungent odor and sparingly soluble in water. Okay. So next come to its chemical properties. Chemical properties. So chlorine acts as a stronger oxidizing agent. It acts as a stronger oxidizing agent. It gives nascent oxygen in presence of moisture. So chlorine plus H2O give rise to 2HCl plus oxygen. And this oxygen, it helps for oxidation of other substances. In this way, chlorine acts as an oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. So it oxidizes different compounds. Okay. So it oxidizes acidified ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. So Cl2 plus H2O give rise to 2HCl plus O, and again ferrous sulfate plus H2SO4 plus oxygen give rise to Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus H2O. So the overall reaction is 2FeSO4 plus H2SO4 plus chlorine give rise to Fe2SO4 whole thrice ferric sulfate plus 2HCl. Okay, so in this way oxidizes ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. In the same way, it oxidizes the sulfide salts. The sulfide salts like sodium sulfide to sodium sulfate. Okay, so then it oxidizes arsenate salt to arsenite. So arsenite to arsenate, sulfide to sulfate. So in this way oxidizes various compounds. Next, this is the oxidizing property. Next, it combines with metals and non-metals to form the corresponding chlorides. It combines with metals and non-metals to form the corresponding chlorides. For example, Na plus Cl2, it gives 2NaCl. Similarly, iron plus chlorine give rise to FeCl2. Okay, so it also combines with give rise to. So in this way it combines with metals to form corresponding chlorides. It also combines with non-metals like phosphorus and chlorine to form phosphorus trichloride. It combines with sulfur and chlorine to form H2 sulfur chloride. Okay, it combines with arsenic and chlorine to form arsenic chloride. It also combines with different chlorides, the lower chlorides, to form higher chlorides. SnCl2 plus Cl2 give rise to SnCl4. Similarly, Hg2Cl2 plus Cl2 give rise to 2HgCl2. So stannous chloride to stannic chloride, mercurous chloride to mercury chloride. It combines with metals, non-metals to form corresponding chlorides and lower chlorides to higher chlorides. That is OS form to EC form. Okay, so these are the direct combination of chlorine. Next, it reacts with ammonia. So chlorine reacts with ammonia differently. Reaction with ammonia. So when chlorine reacts with excess of ammonia, it forms ammonium chloride. But if excess of chlorine is used, then the product is different. Okay, so NH3 plus Cl2 give rise to NH4Cl plus N2. When excess of ammonia is taken, 8NH3 plus 6Cl2 give rise to 8NH plus Cl2 give rise to 6NH4Cl plus N2. So when excess of ammonia is taken, excess, then chlorine reacts with excess of ammonia to form ammonium chloride and nitrogen. But if excess of chlorine is taken, NH3 plus 3Cl2 give rise to NCl3 plus 3HCl. Nitrogen trichloride is formed. So ammonia reacts with chlorine. So when chlorine is excess, it forms NCl3. But when ammonia is excess, it forms NH4Cl. This NCl3 is used as explosive. Okay. Next come to reaction of chlorine with alkali. Reaction with alkali. Chlorine reacts differently with alkali. Okay, so with cold dilute alkali, it reacts differently, and with hot concentrated alkali, it reacts differently. So when it reacts with cold dilute sodium hydroxide, it forms sodium chloride and sodium hypochlorite. Okay, so NaOH plus Cl2 when cold and concentrated. Sorry, cold and dilute is taken. Cold and dilute sodium hydroxide is taken. It forms sodium hydroxide plus chlorine, give rise to NaCl, NaClO plus H2O. So that is sodium chloride, sodium hypochlorite and water. But when treated with excess of hot and concentrated sodium hydroxide, NaOH plus chlorine, when it reacts with hot and concentrated, it forms sodium chloride, sodium chlorate. So here sodium hypochlorite and here sodium chlorate. So to balance this equation, 5 NaCl, 6 NaOH plus 3 Cl2. 6 NaOH plus 3 Cl2 give rise to 5 NaCl, NaClO3 plus 3 H2O. In the same way, it also reacts with calcium hydroxide. With calcium hydroxide, when react with cold and dilute, it forms calcium chloride, calcium hypochlorite and water. Similarly, with hot concentrated calcium hydroxide, it forms CaOH whole twice plus chlorine, give rise to CaCl2, CaClO3 whole twice plus water. And when it treated with dilute, it forms this compound, and when treated with concentrated, it forms fluoride and chlorate, and with dilute, it forms chloride and hypo. Similarly, chlorine reacts with slag lime plus chlorine, give rise to CaCl2, CaOCl whole twice plus H2O. So this mixture is known as bleaching powder. Bleaching powder. This is slag lime. So when chlorine reacts with slag lime, it forms calcium chloride and calcium oxychloride, which is known, this mixture is known as bleaching powder. Next come to the bleaching action of chlorine. Bleaching action of chlorine. So the bleaching action of chlorine is due to oxidation. Okay, so due to its oxidizing nature, the oxidation of other substances, the bleaching action of chlorine takes place. And as it takes place due to oxidation, the bleaching action of chlorine is permanent. Okay, so Cl2 plus H2O give rise to 2HCl plus oxygen. So it acts as oxidizing agent. And whenever there is any coloring substances, any vegetable coloring material, that is coloring material, any coloring material, and when it undergo oxidation, it become colorless. And this action is permanent. This action is permanent. So in this way, chlorine acts as a bleaching agent. It is used as germicide. Okay. So this is also used for preparation of various organic and inorganic compounds.